Hey guys, welcome back to another Projects with Peyton video. And in this video, we got a snowblower. It's a 5 horsepower, 24-inch path Spirit snow thrower. And the customer said it hasn't ran in a couple years, so we're hoping to get it running in this video. First thing we're gonna do is make sure it has spark. And I already checked the gas tank and it's bone dry, which is good because I'm guessing we're gonna have to clean the carburetors. And I already gave it a pull. And the recoil spring is really weak, so that might be a struggle because it don't got electric start. So now we'll see if it has spark. Okay guys, so I got the spark plug tester hooked up and now we're gonna see if it has spark. Okay, so it looked like it did have spark, but it didn't look like it had very much for spark. So I'm guessing we're gonna have to clean the magnets on the flywheel and clean the coil. Okay guys, so I'm almost 100% sure we're gonna have to clean the carb on this, and the carb is behind all this shroud. So we're gonna have to take off all that shroud, and then since we have that shroud off, I'm gonna try cleaning the flywheel and cleaning the coil and see if that improves our spark. Because if that gets dirty, then it allows not enough spark to pass through. So we'll take that shroud off next. Okay guys, so for taking this shroud off, it is just those 3 bolts and those 2, because I'm also just going to take the gas tank off to make it easier. And there's one there, and then there is, we'll have to take this off too, I'm guessing, which is just a bolt there, and those 2 screws. And then there's another bolt for this shroud right there. Then all that shroud will get off, so we'll take that off next. Okay guys, so I got all the shroud off. This should just pop out. The gas tank already fell off. We just got to disconnect that line, and then this should come off. Then we just have to disconnect that primer line that goes to the primer bulb. And then this will come off, and that'll come off. Okay guys, so I just got that fuel line off and that primer bulb hose off. We got the gas tank and the shroud off, and I can definitely see why it wasn't sparking so good. That's completely rusty, and the coil doesn't look much better. So now we're going to take that coil off, clean off the underside, and then find the magnet on this, which is right there, which looks pretty clean, but we're still going to clean that up and clean the coil up, and then hopefully that spark plug will be fixed. And then we just got to take off this so we can get to the carburetor. Okay guys, so for taking the coil off, it's just these 2 screws that have a 1/4-inch head, and I already loosened them up. Now we can just pull those out, and then your coil will come off. Then you just need to disconnect it from the spark plug, and then disconnect it from your battery, which I might need a pliers for. I'll get that off. Then we can clean those, or I might just leave it on and clean it. Then we need to clean up those magnets, because they're not the dirtiest, but they're definitely pretty rusty. So we'll clean those up and clean that up, and hopefully that'll fix our spark problem. Okay guys, so for cleaning the flywheel and the coil, I'm just going to be using a piece of this Gator very fine scouring pad. I'm just going to use this, and then I'm just going to go clean this up for a little bit and clean up the coil for a little bit till they're nice and clean. Okay guys, so I got the magnets and the coil all clean. It might not look that clean, but it's just because they're all a little bit scratched up. And I got the magnets as clean as I could. So now we can bolt that back up right there. And then I'm going to come over here, and then I'm going to take this off, which is just that bolt, and those 2 screws right there, so we can access the carb and clean that next. Okay guys, I got the coil all mounted up, and while I was doing that, this piece that hooked up to the primer just fell off, and it's all like broken and chewed off on that end, so gonna have to replace that. Got that on, then I came over here and I took off those 2 screws and that bolt. So now this piece will just come out. I suppose we'll have to take this choke off, if I can get it off. I'll get that off, but then we can take the carb off. Okay, I got that piece off and that shroud off, so now we can take this carburetor off. We just have to take off this linkage and this linkage. Nope, we don't have to take that linkage off. And I just have to take that gas line off and the linkage, and then those two bolt nuts back there that hold the actual carb on. And then the carb will come off, so we'll take it off next. Okay guys, so I got the carb pulled off, and you can see she's pretty dirty in there and in there. So we'll take this apart now and clean it up, and then throw some gas in it, and should run. Okay guys, so now we're gonna take apart the carb and clean it, and just by looking at it, this is the choke. All it does is spin that on there. This carburetor don't really seem like it's the most well-built carburetor. Seems pretty cheap, but we're gonna take it apart now. This is just a 1/2 inch for the bowl. There we go. Ooh. That's kind of cool. The screw that holds the bowl in is the main jet. Never seen that before. Is there something else holding this on? Nope, there we go. Yeah, she's pretty crusty. There's the float. Take that off. Oh gosh. I need to grab a little. See if we can pop out this float pin just with some pliers. There we go. There we go. There's that float pin, and the float will come off, and the needle on the seat. Looks pretty good. And I think that's it for taking apart the bowl. I don't really see anything else that we could take off. So I think that's all we're gonna take off now. Make sure that the choke's open. Now, yeah, I think that's it. Now we're just gonna, oh, there's that piece where that primer bulb line broke off. We can replace that though. So, oh yeah, it's just like all goo. It's just goo. So we'll take that off, and then we'll throw it in the ultrasonic cleaner for a little bit. Okay guys, so I got the parts for the carburetor dropped in there. I said about 75% water and 25% of this, just this purple power degreaser. Now I got it for 30 minutes. You can throw the lid on her and turn it on. Now, just gotta wait 30 minutes, and then we should be able to throw that carb back on here. Okay guys, so the parts for the carb just finished up in the ultrasonic cleaner, but now I am going to drain all the oil out of it because I came over here and I looked at this. She's almost to the fall line, but she's pretty dark, so we're going to drain all the old oil out of it, and then we'll put some fresh oil on it. So now, I already loosened this up. Hopefully don't get too much oil on herself. There we go. Now we can just let that drain. And now we can, once that's done draining, we'll put the carb on her. Okay guys, I got all the old oil drained out of her just into there. I'm letting that funnel drip. I'm just gonna be putting just some 530 back in her, some fresh oil. I took the spark plug out and cleaned that up, so that's good because it was a little dark. So now we just have to add the oil. I'm just gonna put about a 1/2 quart to 3/4 quart, then put the dipstick in, then check in, then just keep adding until she's right on the full line. Okay guys, so I got just the perfect amount of oil in her. So next thing, can take the carb out of the ultrasonic cleaner, hook up our linkage, and then pop her on there. Okay, so now I'm just gonna throw this back together. Ultrasonic cleaner got everything nice and clean. I'm not sure why the seat turned, or the needle turned black. That, I don't know if it was black. I don't remember it being black, but now it's black. But we'll run with it. So now, put this carb back together, then I'll throw her on the snowblower. Okay guys, so I got the carb all put back together. So now we can just hook up our linkage and then put the 2 nuts in, and then put those shroud pieces back on, and she should be able to run. Okay guys, so I got the carburetor bolted up and I put some new line that goes to the primer bulb. So now we just gotta throw that on, and then should be throwing snow. Okay guys, got all the shroud and the gas tank on. I'm just gonna make sure quick that cleaning those coils is what was the spark problem. And yep, we got plenty of spark now. Got a full tank of gas. Now, just gotta primer a bunch since there is no gas in the lines. And then, should be able to start it. Okay guys, so I primed it a bunch. Got the choke on, got this on, that's in. Hopefully it'll start. Okay guys, so as you've seen, she doesn't want to start. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to keep spraying a little bit of carb cleaner in the carburetor while I'm pulling it over and see if I can just spray it enough to where it wants to run by itself. Come over here, open up the choke, spray a little in there, and turn the choke on slightly, and then she wanted to keep going, but now I'm just gonna keep repeating that until she wants to stay around. Seem like it's getting gas, so not sure what's happening. Oh guys, I'm just gonna keep doing this for a while and see if I can't get it to run on its own. Okay guys, so off camera, I took the bowl off of the carburetor to see if it was full of fuel, and it wasn't because the needle was stuck shut. So I opened that up, and then I tried to put it back together, but the bowl gasket just tore off. So then I pulled the carb off. So I had to buy a new one, and we just got it. This is the carb kit. It comes with a new bowl gasket and a new needle. So we'll install that now. Okay guys, so I got the carburetor all put back together with the new needle, the new bowl gasket. So now we can throw it back on the snowblower. Okay guys, I got the carb bolted up. So now I'm gonna put the gas tank on. And I did find a little piece of 5/16 fuel line laying around, so I just threw that on, just so we know there won't be any leaks. So I'll throw that on, then I'll throw this side cover on, then hopefully it'll start. Okay guys, I got the cover put on, got the gas tank on, and I filled it up with gas. So now, let's see if she'll run. Okay guys, I primed it up a little. Now just turn that on. Keys in. Now, it should start. maybe just come over here and look. Yeah, there's some grease zerks. Probably gonna grease those up just so it's nice and greased. Now, should be done. Okay guys, so now we're gonna grease these grease zerks. So we can just pop it on. And I'm just gonna give it a couple, probably like 5 pumps. Okay guys, got it running. Now we're gonna plow a little snow. Well guys, she's certified snowblower. So that'll be it for this project. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.